Welcome to The Secret Truth. I'm George Butler, along with John B. Wells is my guest right now. He is the Master of Ceremonies at the JF Conference 2016 here in Dallas, Texas. Welcome, John B. Wells.
Thanks very much, George. Good to see you.
Just unload on us. Tell us what's going on. What's happening here? This looks like it's overwhelming success.
It really does. It's an excellent crowd. I think it was right at the edge of standing room only. Great guests. They all had great stuff to say, and in fact some new people. Sean Stone was here this year, and I think it's just excellent that this is the fourth annual conference, and every conference more people show up. I remember the first one down in Austin. Right. There were some people there, but not too many. But with every year there are more, so that's good. That means the word's getting out and people are interested. And it's funny, just walking around the hotel here. I just brought it up just because I do. I just chat up strangers sometimes.
I talk to people too, but I listen to the voices in my head most of the time. Yeah. But go ahead.
And the birds.
Right, the birds tweeting in my head. Because I'm a conspiracy nut.
Well, okay. So many people out there did not know that there is a JFK assassination conference in progress in Dallas. And I said, it's done every year. Right. So you should look for it because it's going to be right around. It'll either be the weekend before or the weekend after.
Right, because of the 22nd falling on Tuesday, it sort of it was indicative that it be there now. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember the 50th fell on Friday.
Oh yeah.
So that made it real handy.
Oh yeah, that was perfect timing in some of those. Yeah.
This year it's on Tuesday, so that's how it was. But anyway, a lot of people, the moment that you say JFK assassination conference, their ears prick up and their eyes get wide. They go, really? There is one? It's like, oh, absolutely. So I think if we can just get the word out somehow, I'm afraid we're going to have to use mainstream media to attract the crowds that we'd really like to have, to raise the awareness to the level we'd like to have it. I think we're going to have to use some of those outlets, or it'll be a gradual growing, but of course we'd all like for it to grow faster.
Right. What are some of the high points that you can recall that during this conference that stand out in your own mind? Was there any particular new speakers or what?
Well, I thought that Sean Stone showing up was pretty good because he's the son of a famous man, and a lot of times sons will actually have to operate in the shadows of their famous fathers. But Sean's cutting his own path, and he's doing this thing called Watching the Hawks on RT, and then his buzzsaw is on Gaia. I think I've got the order correct. And then he's got a documentary out, A Century of War, and he's got a new book out called New World Order. So when somebody who's that well connected, even through a parent, to Hollywood, I think he's taken a chance because he's very forthcoming in his opinions about everything, including, and this is a little bit difficult because I was going to say Israel. Well, I have said it now.
Right.
But the thing is, according to the Bible, is keep your hands off Israel, keep your mouth off of Israel too, because if you don't, there's going to be problems.
Right.
So I'm amazed that little country has the amount of clout that it does in the world, but it does, and it's undeniable. So he looks into the connections between events that occur that are of great significance and Israel. So at the end of the day, it's. Of course, Jim Fetzer's here, and I haven't spoken to him in some time, but he always brings good information together, and he's got a laser focus on Israel too. But not everybody does, and
right.
But it's just all of the info. What's amazing?
What's that?
You remember last year at the conference, there was the man who had been in he was part of the autopsy team.
Yes.
And you remember when I asked him?
Yeah, I remember very well. You got into line and you asked a very insightful question, I recall.
Seemed like
But no one had asked that particular question, except John B. Wells got up and said, "Well, what's that?" I'm trying to remember.
I just kind of said, "Listen, I don't mean to put you on trial here. Don't mean to put you on the stand."
Right. You said that.
But you've done a lot of autopsies, right? Yes, and you know what a gunshot wound looks like.
Right.
He said, and then he went into this story about a guy who was found in his pickup truck.
He was hedging on a statement, making a definitive statement. That's what you pinned him down on.
Yeah, he just kind of kept going.
I remember now.
I'm sitting there going, I wonder how long this story.
He said,
about.
"Well, they brought him in, and it looked like this and that." And then you asked him the question. You said, "You know what this is? You know what that is?" And you let it. You acted like an attorney.
I know it.
You know what I mean? You were questioning a witness on the stand.
Where was the entry wound? And the
Exactly.
man said, I wasn't going to get into that.
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah, and I said, well, I think
but he
we
said,
need to.
I guess I will now.
Yeah, I said, I think we need to if we're going to show he was shot from the front, aren't we? And
but then you got it. You drew him out, and then he made a statement, a definitive statement.
Yeah, he said it was
John B. That was really good. I noticed that.
Yeah,
I was over there working the cameras and everything, and I was pretty busy. I did take notice of that.
It was kind of fun
because you were right in front of us. We set up the questioner mic right in front of our table.
Yeah.
And then y'all lined up to our left
But you remember what he said?
What did he say?
About an inch from the hairline.
Yeah, right.
Below
On the right,
hairline.
right. So I think that was a major breakthrough at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And up until that time, we hadn't had that definitive statement.
But George, what I'm getting at is why wouldn't an obvious question like that be asked?
Yeah. Well, you're a talk show host with your own program, and you've got a tremendous experience. And you know the questions to ask. Who told me once, you ask the right questions and get the heck out of the way?
Yeah. Well, I got another one for you, too.
What's that?
You'd be amazed what people will tell you if you'll just ask them.
Right, exactly.
If you don't ask the question.
If you don't ask, there'll never be an answer. Or
they may just go all around and tell you a big story.
Is it that you're very inquisitive over your career period? Would that be one characteristic? A very searching person for truth, and you're very inquisitive. You want to get the bottom line. You want the deal. You want to know what's going on.
Yeah, but you know what? With me, it's really more like you're in the environment.
Okay.
Do all the things that you would think you would do in that environment, whatever environment it is. And in this business, it's ask questions. If you want to know the answers, you got to ask the questions.
Right.
So, but I thought that was an awfully easy one. But the point that I'm really trying to make is that even among people they will come to the conference. They will speak to us. They will tell us what they know. They will tell us of their experience. They still might not tell you the whole story unless you ask them. Right. So in other words, we are in a lot of ways, I'm not going to say victims, but I'm going to say we are put at a slight disadvantage because we rely strictly on what the statements are without providing some questions to either get them to reveal themselves, get them to confirm, deny, or avoid. And so that's what we do on Caravan to Midnight. That's why we have a long-form deal.
You've got Caravan to Midnight here in the Dallas area.
Yep.
And I've watched your program and listened to your program over the years. You have a lineup of very fine interviews there.
I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, I don't want to do a shameless self-promotion here, but I'm thinking that
And what is your website there?
It's just caravantomidnight.com.
Caravan to Midnight.
No numbers.
Now, doesn't that Caravan to Midnight go way back in your radio career?
It does.
It does. Tell us about that.
Well, one of the listeners when I was on the old Zoo radio station always wanted this one song called "I'm Out to Get You" by Robin Trower, and I could never find it.
Right.
Well, it was on an obscure, it must have been his first record, or among the very first. It's the first one I know of, and the name of the record is Caravan to Midnight. And when I listened to the record, I didn't hear anything musically that would suggest that a title like that was appropriate.
Okay.
But I thought the title was great. And then, many years later, what would it be? I don't even want to say how many years later. It's 2006.
Okay.
I got the domain name.
Okay.
I didn't even know what I was going to do with it.
Really?
No.
Really?
Nope.
Okay.
I did a one program on Coast to Coast in December of 2005.
Right.
And then nothing in 2006, nothing in 2007. I think one or two shows in 2008. One for sure with Ray Bradbury, which was excellent. Nothing in 2009. And then couple, 3 or 4, half a dozen, maybe.
Right. Okay.
And I don't think there were that many in 2010, but then a bunch of them in 2011, and then in 2012 they gave me the Saturday night slot plus other fill-ins during the week.
Right.
And I thought, and then when Fukushima happened in 2011,
well, I want to thank you for being our host, our master of ceremonies down in Austin.
Oh, thanks.
Because you took time and money and expense to get down there. I just wish we'd had a bigger crowd, but we did get the word out, but they put a lid on it.
Oh, sure they did.
They don't want us talking about it. No,
they just want to be able to just run their program.
And that's what we found out. We did 2 of them that year. That was the second one we did, and we just couldn't get the word out. We got the word out, but nobody would show up.
In 2011, when Fukushima melted down, that's when I activated
March.
Caravan to Midnight.
Okay.
And notice how much talk there is about Fukushima. How about zero?
Well, I listened to your Coast to Coast program, and you covered it better than anyone else.
I appreciate you saying that.
You had 3 or 4 people on a panel discussion. I was thinking one night,
Yep.
And it blew me away, and I said, man, you're dedicated to that truth about what's going on there.
But notice, George, nobody's talked about it in the last year or two. Every once in a while, there'll be a mention of it.
I know,
but nobody's
it's
talking about
disappeared,
it.
hasn't it?
Well, it hadn't gotten any better, I'll tell you that.
It's sad. It saddens me to think that the North Pacific now what is his name? I want to say there's a guy that went out there in an inflatable. We had him on a Skype connection at our conference, and that you were the master of ceremonies Dana Durwood, I think it is, Dunford. Dana
didn't he
Dunford.
Come in over Skype?
Yeah.
He wasn't there in person. Did he come in over Skype?
No, he came in over Skype from Canada because we just couldn't. We only flew one person in, and that was the Navy person that you interviewed there. And that's the only person we had the fun. We flew one person in, and that's it. And he rented his own car.
Good man.
Good man. Hey, I like that.
Just say it.
And we were all there pro bono, yourself and I know everybody. And you brought down your cancer expert friend.
Bollinger. Mr. Bollinger, Ty and his brother.
And he
Ron was
spoke
there
well.
too.
And then I brought in a few Alex Jones people. And David Knight spoke there.
Yep.
And so forth, and then the day before we did one day of Ebola, and then one day of Fukushima.
I think David Knight does a good job.
Oh, he speaks. Yes,
I really do.
He's a fine person.
Seems like a real solid guy.
Yeah, he's a stout. Yeah, he's right up there. But anyway, I must admire you for the exposure you tried to out on Fukushima, because it's just the most devastating natural disaster we've had. It's ongoing.
They say that it's just about killed the Pacific Ocean, but you don't hear anybody say anything about it. It's not on the news. Wouldn't you think if something on a scale like that was happening, somebody'd say something about it? But the reason they're not is because there's nothing they can do about it.
Right.
What are they going to do about it? There's nothing you can do about it when you got 3 reactors melting down and they're burning through the earth.
Helen Caldicott said that it's not an end times event, but she sort of crisis without end. It's book,
it's not an end times
something
event.
Like that.
It'll do till the end times event gets here.
I mean, it could end. The whole thing.
Just saying.
Yeah, so it's dangerous.
No, it's a big one.
Any other comments that you have about the conference up here, or
just that it feels good to see so many people interested in this, and Judith Baker is such a sweetheart.
She is. She's behind. She got this thing going, didn't she?
She's so dedicated to Lee's memory and clearing his name, and but here's the thing.
Okay.
This is the best part, George.
Okay.
We know now. It's not like, well, what if, and how about this, and what about that? We know damn well.
Yeah.
Lee Oswald didn't shoot John Kennedy.
No, he did.
He did not.
He wasn't even there on that floor or close by.
We also know
he was downstairs.
We also know he was a CIA officer.
Yes, he was involved.
And we can surmise with a high degree of confidence that parade route was changed at the last minute to send it by the school book depository so that they could blame him for it.
Right, exactly. They had him in place to be the dupe, to be the scapegoat. And then they killed him before they could investigate it any further.
No, absolutely. Got rid of everybody. Ruby, too, died of cancer in the hospital.
We think Ruby was cancer. They gave him cancer. Yeah, that's what they made injections. They gave him injections.
Well, and that goes back to Judith Baker working with Mary Sherman in New Orleans on weaponizing the cancer virus.
And they probably used the very thing that they came up with in New Orleans to kill him. Probably.
I'd bet my last dollar. What is that? Bet my bottom dollar.
I bet about $1. Well, might all I have tonight.
I got one. I might have $1 here somewhere.
Oh, someone gave me a bill of a new. Well, anyway, there's some folding money out there that's floating around.
Well, let's go find it.
Huh?
Let's go find where it is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for any closing comments. Anything in closing statements you want to make?
I would only say this. I have to say this. The Lord is watching. The Lord knows what happens.
Right.
Just like the Lord knows what each of us is going to do before we know it.
Right.
But we don't.
Right.
So it's what we do now as we ride our little individual camels toward that midnight moment where everything that was is gone and everything that will be is coming up.
Well, thank you, John B. Wells, for being with us this evening. Thank you for your Master of Ceremonies duties up here at the JFK Conference 2016. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Give me 5.
Okay.